tonight's meeting to order. There's been some confusion about dates and locations for the zoning board meeting. If there's anyone here expecting the zoning board meeting, that meeting is taking place across the street over in Civic Plaza. I'd like to call this meeting of the Township Council to order.
Adequate notice of this meeting was provided and published in the Asbury Park Press and the Ocean Star on February 8, 2019. Copies of the agenda were provided to the newspapers posted on public bulletin boards in the Township website.
Thank you. This time, would everyone please silence or turn off their cell phones? And Madam Clerk, would you pass it on to the council cell phones, please?
Oh, sure.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Fosman.
Here.
Councilwoman Pontarero. Here. Councilwoman DeYoung.
Here.
Councilman Mumolo.
Here.
Councilman Halloran. Vice President Crate.
Here.
President Zapsik.
Here.
Thank you.
This time, I'd like to invite the members of Boy Scout Troop Number 17 to come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone, please stand. And we'll follow the pledge with a moment of silence. When you are ready, gentlemen.
Troop attention. Salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the October 7th meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Mumolo, second by Councilwoman Pontarero. Roll call, please.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontarero.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
President Zapsik.
Yes.
Thank you.
Before we move on to the consent agenda, I just want to mention that the agendas are on the back table. There's also brochures like this that explain, for anyone who is new here, the order of business and how things will be conducted tonight. I call your attention particularly to item number 4, the manner of addressing the council. There will be 4 periods where public is invited to come forward. One is on the consent agenda, which is comments just on those items. One is on the bill resolution, again, comments just on the bills. Then tonight, there's no ordinances on second reading tonight, and then public comment. The manner of addressing the council, those wishing to speak should raise their hand and wait to be recognized. Upon recognition by the chair, the person shall proceed to the floor and give his or her name and address in an audible tone for the records. Unless further time is granted by the council, he or she shall limit his or her statement to 5 minutes, and we do have a clock. Statements shall be addressed to the council as a body and not to any single member thereof. No person other than the chair and the person having the floor shall be permitted to enter into any discussion without recognition by the chair. Council members shall not direct any questions to the speaker addressing the council except through the chair. Let's begin the consent agenda.
All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Thank you. Resolution 4-1.
Authorized grant application, Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the submission of a grant application to the Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse for the BRIC Municipal Alliance Program, or BRIC Municipal Anti-Drug Coalition. The township submits this application annually to either offset the costs of the programs offered by BMAC. We have been authorized for and are requesting $39,523 in the application for this year, the funding will actually begin July 1 of 2020, and those funds do come to us from the state to the County of Ocean and then to the municipality. Resolution 4-2.
Authorized receipt of bids, Boland Field improvements.
Thank you. Councilwoman DeYoung.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for improvements at Boland Fields located at the Brick American Little League Complex. The main intent of this project is to resolve a long-standing drainage issue that prevents the fields from being used by our young athletes during the baseball season. This project will resolve the drainage problems, reconstruct the infield, and address other minor repairs that are necessary. This project was included in the 2019 capital budget.
Thank you. Resolution 4-3.
Authorize receipt of bids resurfacing and drainage improvements to North Lake Shore Drive, Nassau Street, and Duquesne Boulevard intersections.
Thank you. Mayor?
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for drainage improvements, mill and overlay to the entire length of North Lake Shore Drive, and then also Nassau Boulevard, which is a small road that's off of North Lake Shore Drive, and also improvements to facilitate drainage at the intersections along the entire length of Duquesne Boulevard. This project was included in the 2019 capital budget. Thanks.
Thank you. Resolution 4-4.
Authorize award of contract through Stafford Township Cooperative Pricing System furnishing and delivery of diesel fuel.
Thank you. Councilwoman, Vice President Creighton.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes award of contract through the Stafford Township Cooperative Pricing System to Sprague Operating Resources, LLC, Portsmouth, New Jersey, for furnishing and delivery of diesel fuel. This is a firm price contract with a fixed margin of 0.1073 per gallon over the low posting price for ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel as indicated on the day of delivery from the Oil Price Information Service publication, which will be submitted with each invoice. This contract shall not exceed $750,000 per year, with funds to be certified prior to each order. This is a 2-year contract.
Thank you. Resolution 4-5.
Authorize award of contract through Stafford Township Cooperative Pricing System Automotive Parts, Supplies, and Repairs.
Thank you. Vice President Creighton.
Yes, this resolution authorizes the award of contract through Stafford Township Cooperative Pricing System to several vendors who provide automotive parts, supplies, and repairs for township equipment. This is a unit price contract not to exceed $100,000 per year, with funds to be certified prior to each order. This is a 2-year contract.
Thank you. Resolution 4-6.
Authorize closeout change order number 1, drainage improvements to Baywood.
Councilwoman DeYoung, please.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes a change order decrease and closeout for the drainage improvements to Baywood project as awarded to Shore Top Construction. The change order decrease in the amount of $34,152.50 reduces the contract amount to $317,460.
Thank you. Resolution 4-7.
Authorize shared services agreements between BTMUA and South Monmouth Regional Sewerage Authority for sanitary sewer collection maintenance services.
Thank you. Councilman Mamalo, please.
Thank you, Madam President. This resolution approves a shared service agreement between the Brick Township Municipal Utilities Authority and South Monmouth Regional Sewage Authority to provide sanitary sewer collection maintenance services on an as-needed basis. In accordance with the Uniform Shared Service and Consolidation Act, any authority such as the BTMUA that is created by a government entity must get approval from the governing body at any time they enter into shared service agreements. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 4-8, please.
Authorize participation in the 2019 multi-jurisdictional all-hazard mitigation plan for Ocean County.
Thank you. Mrs. Bergen?
Thank you. This resolution authorizes participation in the 2019 multi-jurisdictional all-hazard mitigation plan for Ocean County, which identifies mitigation goals and actions to reduce or eliminate long-term risk to people and property in the Township of Brick from the impacts of future hazards and disasters.
Thank you. Resolution 4-9.
Authorize placement of tax liens for property cleanups.
Thank you. This resolution authorizes the placement of tax liens at 313 Heritage Drive in the amount of $85.41 and 204 Winchester Drive in the amount of $72.03. I have the reports from the code enforcement officers. Both of these properties are currently vacant. Resolution 410, bond releases. Madam Clerk.
410A is an inspection fund release for the Shore Acres Yacht Club on Drum Point Road in the amount of $1,242.39.
Thank you. Resolution 411, tax collector. Mrs. Bergen.
11A, tax overpayments for the year 2013. There are two at 598 Leonora Street, Block 194.10, Lot 21, in the amount of $473.21, and 3912 Smith Drive, Block 1313.04, Lot 1, in the amount of $35.68. 11B are tax overpayments for the year 2014. There are 6. 59 Wood Avenue, Block 1034.06, Lot 5, in the amount of $1,422.23. 2 Jaywood Manor Drive, Block 1384.01, Lot 9, in the amount of $35.85. 327 Evergreen Drive, which is Block 383.22, Lot 30, in the amount of $1,260.17. 185 Main Avenue, Block 1331.09, Lot 12, in the amount of $15.82. 8 Meadow Point Drive, Block 250.01, Lot 7, in the amount of $22.73. And 358 Shawnee Drive, Block 896, Lot 10, in the amount of $20.04. 11C are tax overpayments for the year 2019. There are 4. 34 Blue Cedar Drive, Block 378.07, Lot 6, in the amount of $465.94. 231 Emerald Drive, Block 382.09, Lot 1, in the amount of $166.48. 222 18th Avenue, Block 1340.17, Lot 48, in the amount of $136.60. And 4 Princeton Pines Place, Block 857.100, Lot 24.01, in the amount of $2,396.66. And 11D, there's a state tax appeal granted for Block 571, Lot 29, 470 Monmouth Avenue, in the amount of $549.
Thank you. That's the end of the consent agenda. May I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Pontoriero, second by Councilman Mumolo. Open to council for questions or comments on the resolutions. Seeing none, close council. Open to public for questions or comments on the resolutions. Seeing none, close public. Roll call, please.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
President Zapsik.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item 412, bill resolution. Madam Clerk.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid, and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Computer bill resolution in the amount of $22,938,909.88.
Thank you. May I have a motion and a second?
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fosman, second by Councilwoman Pontoriero. Open to council for questions or comments. Seeing none, close council. Open to public for questions or comments on the bill resolution. Seeing none, close public. Roll call, please.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Abstain CME, yes to the rest.
Councilman Mumolo.
Abstain Meridian Occupational Health, yes to the rest.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
President Zapsik.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item 413, manual bill resolution.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid, and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Manual bill resolution in the amount of $1,682,464.74.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fosman, second by Councilman Mumlo. Open to council for questions on the manual bill resolution. Seeing none, close council. Open to public for questions or comments on the manual bill resolution. Seeing none, close public. Roll call, please.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Abstain CME, yes to the rest.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
President Zapsik.
Yes. Okay, we now have an ordinance on first reading. This is just the introduction of the ordinance. There is no public comment on the ordinance on first reading. Madam Clerk?
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the dedication of a portion of Block 702, lots 30 and 31, to the County of Ocean, New Jersey, pursuant to NJSA 40A:12A-39A.
Thank you. Mayor?
Thank you. This ordinance dedicates a strip of land along the jug handle in front of the old Food Town property, the soon-to-be, or hopefully soon-to-be, Sports Dome. And that property, that strip of land is going to be dedicated to the County of Ocean. On April 17th, 2019, the Ocean County Planning Board approved the minor subdivision for a lot line adjustment at the intersection of Brick Boulevard and Route 70, located in the redevelopment area, and that was contingent upon the township submitting a deed to Ocean County for the property. So the property consists of that area, that jug handle, that odd jug handle in front of the food town. It's 0.564 acres. As per the approved jurisdictional map for Route 70 and Brick Boulevard, the county maintains jurisdiction of the jug handle at the intersection. They're the ones who've always been, cutting the lawn and making sure it's clean. And so this is going to legalize what everybody already assumed, is that the county owns the property, and this will legalize it that they do own the property and will continue to own the property even after the sale to the two buyers. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Mumolo, second by Councilwoman Pontoriero. Open to council for questions or comments? Seeing none, close council. Roll call, please.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
Vice President Crate.
Yes.
President Zapsik.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now on to public comment. A few folks came in after the introduction of the meeting, so I just want to remind everyone, public comment is open comment on any topic. Raise your hand, wait to be called, come to the microphone, and try and keep your comments contained to about 5 minutes so that everyone has an opportunity to speak. Madam Clerk, would you please read the...
Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting during which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code, Section 2-33B.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Bob Carpenter's 769 Iron Court. I just want to congratulate the police for their quick capture of the criminal that did all the shooting. And I knew it was a isolated incident, and that no, the Brick is still a safe city to live in. I also want to congratulate the winners of last night's election, and I'm looking forward to a few more good years for Brick Township. But I know everyone works very hard, and we appreciate your work. And also, now that we're going to have mostly a Democratic council, maybe we could consider following the state of New Jersey as far as the business that we give to for the police, the guns that they buy, the business that we give to the gun manufacturers that are not following the rules and the laws, whatever the state of New Jersey is doing. Every gun that they buy for the state police, they have a certain gun manufacturers that they don't do business with. So maybe it's something that we can look into that. Gun manufacturers have been gorging on the blood of Americans for the past 100 years. They used the Second Amendment as a crutch, where the Second Amendment was adopted when there was no police force and no military. And they're using that to spread the gun. Even the killing that happened in Mexico, all those guns were both in America, and they were smuggled off the border. And the drug dealers they're just sending all the drugs over the border. So the gun manufacturers are just as responsible for those killings down there as the killers themselves. And the gun manufacturers and the NRA is running scared of Democrats right now. Democrats, before the Democrats used to be afraid of the gun lobby, but not anymore. So maybe we can consider that, hopefully. But again, thank you for the work you do for Brick. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Hello.
Melinda Murray, Forge Pond Road. Congratulations to everybody for last night. I had a question. I was told that we have an ordinance, because after everything that went on with the schools, and and just the general way that a lot of the rentals have been going. I heard that there's an ordinance, and I haven't been able to find it, maybe you can help me with that, that says after there's 2 convictions in one residence, we can go after the landlord. Have we done that? And I was going to ask you guys if you could give some thought to tightening it up. Because, like, all right, you get somebody who rents, Section 8 or not, it doesn't matter. Renting out, single mom, maybe it's a dad, and he has his kids move in, and then they have a girlfriend move in, and then the girlfriend gets convicted of something, and she's not on the lease. Where does that leave our ordinance? You know what I mean? If it's somebody who's not on the lease. So we're getting more and more people buying and companies buying our condominiums, our smaller homes, our little bungalows, and they're renting them out. And they're becoming slumlords. Can we maybe take a look at tightening that up somehow? I mean, I don't know the legalities of it, that's you guys. But I was hoping that you could take a look at that ordinance and tighten it up and actually, have we enforced it? Have we used it? Or is it just there? Does anybody know?
Yeah, so, I was waiting for you to finish.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's similar to, they call them animal house ordinances in other towns, like Belmar. We're not a beach town as far as rentals, even though we have a beach. So they made us we had to call it the responsible landlord ordinance, and it's 2 convictions at the property. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be a total stranger that's there. It could be somebody who's on the lease, somebody who's not off the lease, somebody who's related to somebody on the lease, somebody who owns the property, whatever the case may be. It's 2 convictions, and yeah, they go before. We have a special animal house prosecutor and hearing officer, and they levy the fine upon the landlord. So even if the landlord had nothing to do with it, and it's 2 arrests, that they get, they've been hit as much as $5,000.
So where do we see that? Where can we see that, or can we see that? I don't know.
Where are the hearings, do you know?
The hearings or the ordinance?
The list of what we've used, what we've done, how many...
The ordinance is in the code book. I can help you. I don't have that site off the top of my head, but I can help you if you want after the...
Yeah, to see, like, and where does that money go that we collect for the fines?
That goes into the
General
township,
fund?
in the general fund, right. And I'll tell you, it's a good question you ask. One of the things that, we have a strong ordinance, but one of the things we need is people to let us know when there are conviction violations in a particular property. Bring it to our attention, because we try to keep track of it. We don't always know, which property it's in. So if you bring it, and we have a procedure, we have prosecuted people. I did one of them, and it was a property off Manalooking Road, and it was a real tenant with a real problem that was wreaking havoc in the neighborhood. And we brought it, and the way it works is you bring it against the landlord, not the tenant. Bring it to the landlord, and you fine the landlord. And this particular landlord was not at all happy about being prosecuted and convicted and had a fine imposed. But the end result was that tenant was evicted, and actually there has not been a problem with that property since.
That's what I'm saying. If you have more attention to it, if more people let you know, we can clean it up a little bit.
Sure.
And maybe we won't have it.
I'll get you, if you want to give your name and number to the
I
clerk,
will,
I'll
thank
get
you.
The citation.
One more thing real quick. We had a 5-acre ordinance 100 years ago, I'm giving away my age, for schools, houses of worship, things like that. Then it went down to 3. Now it's at 2. Ever think about jacking it back up to 3? Because, like, I know if I'm going to buy that little house, and then that little house is going to be like Monopoly. I'm going to buy, like, Boardwalk, and I'm going to buy this one and that one. Because they're cheap and they're little, and they make great rental properties. But then when I'm done with that, and I get my grant for keeping it Section 8 for 5 years and being a slumlord, I'm going to knock them all down. And I'm going to come to you for a variance to put up a monstrosity that doesn't belong there. I'm going to want to join the lands together. Is there a way that maybe you guys can bring that ordinance up a little bit to where it used to be?
If I can respond.
Absolutely.
I'd heard rumor about this and went back into the history of brick. And as far back as I could go, I went back to 1990. That was the furthest I could go. So that was, almost 30 years ago, right? 30 years ago. It was 2 acres required for schools and 2 acres required for houses of worship.
See, now your code enforcer told me it changed 10 years ago from 3 to 2.
No, No, there was a change, but it wasn't the acreage. What changed was it was actually tightened up, and additional requirements were put on it to say schools and churches need to be located on major roads or secondary roads, which is basically main roadways. And there are specific and strict limitations on parking that are put depending on the size of the school or the church. It's got to be a certain number of parking spaces has to go along with it. And if it doesn't comply with that, it's got to come in, they have to seek what's called the use variance, which is the hardest variance to get. So
Okay.
it has been 2 acres. I think I might have the ordinance.
Yeah, I know,
here.
because I went for the paperwork once, just really to make a point, and the woman told me I needed a variance because I didn't have 5 acres. I wasn't actually filling it out. I made my husband a matchbook minister, and I came in and I said, hey, I'm going to make my house a church. I feed 11 people a day. We say our prayers. We donate. And she got me the paperwork, but she said, you know you have to file for a variance. That's going to cost you about $7,000 because you do not have 5 acres, and it's a 5-acre minimum. And that was after, I'm saying that was probably 95, 97, something like that. And then I heard it was 3, and then I called downstairs and they tell me it's 2. And he told me it was changed in 10.
No, it's
So-
definitely been 2 since.
But you tightened it up.
At least 1990.
Okay.
And we tightened it up 7 to 10 years ago, something like that. The
Good.
council tightened it up with a couple of ordinances.
All right, good. I'm glad to hear you using that. I didn't even know it existed. I'm like, we got to have something against these landlords that are slumming it up. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Sluka?
I'll read my letter that you all got about a week ago. Dear Mayor Ducey, Council President Jay Zapsik, all Brick councilmen and councilwomen, citizens of Brick, and the members of the Board of Ed as well. Let me start out by just saying my letter, by presuming that all who got elected deserve to be elected, but the term of office starts in 2020. With that in mind, we still have work to be done now. We don't have to wait. First things first, however, is a statement for all the current and future council members, mainly, and in this case, mainly for Councilwoman Crate. Let me mention that I believe the council should not have any conflicts of interest in voting on any resolution or should not take part in any part of the agenda or town negotiations if they not only have a conflict of interest, but additionally, if there's an appearance of conflict. One person much greater than I once stated that a person cannot have 2 masters and expect to be completely devoted to both masters. Now, with that in mind, let me get down to the letter. What is needed in and around Evergreen Woods, Greenbrier, Briar Mill, the Brick High School, Lanes Mill, and Birchwood area of Brick are vast replantings of brush and shrubs and trees that were destroyed by the New Jersey Turnpike Authority Commissioners on and near the Garden State Parkway, as well as a 14-foot noise pollution and safety barrier to protect the health and well-being of us Brick residents. We the people elect the mayor, although it's part-time, and the council, again, part-time, in order to protect and represent us, but a system is set up where bureaucrats basically run the town. The town is run on a day-to-day basis, in our case, by a business administrator and her project and departmental managers. The council and the mayor are mostly overseers of what takes place in the town. They are the people's eyes and voice of what is being done by long-standing bureaucrats that are paid through the residents' tax dollars. The mayor and town councils have received their guidance from lobbyists, political backers, and bureaucrats, and sometimes the advice is very sound and very useful, but often these same bureaucrats concern themselves with their paychecks and not the pains of the everyday citizens. These political allies, the lobbyists and the bureaucrats I'm talking about, demand payback for their support, but we must all remember that the elected officials owe their allegiance to the taxpayer. As much as I feel the mayor here in Brick and the council members care for the people, the pressures of special interest are unrelenting. Each council member and the mayor must fight through the coerciveness of the political swamp and stand up and speak out for the benefit of all our citizens. I recommend that each and every member of the council occasionally, and the mayor as well, occasionally look over their oath of office and be reminded that they work for the people who elected them. I urge each elected official, whether you be the mayor, council member, Board of Education member, to not listen to paid representatives of union and business lobbyists, nor to the bureaucracy, and do what is needed for our children, our seniors, and every member of our community. Brick residents have been harmed by floods, sinkholes, air pollution, noise, and other undesirable impingements of the greed of the New Jersey Turnpike Commissioners. The residents don't need long, drawn-out studies of noise tests to know the impact of the illegal actions associated with the Garden State Parkway. I was at a fundraiser just recently for the Reed Academy, and what they stated was that 190 children in the United States, when they first organized 18 years ago, 1 in 190 had autism. That was 18 years ago. Today, 18 years later, although nationally it's a little higher, the count in New Jersey is 1 in 34 children, 1 in 23 boys in New Jersey. We need to find the true cause of this affliction, but at least in part, we know asthma, autism, COPD, hearing loss, a variety of heart ailments, and of course premature deaths are the consequence of traffic-related expansion in our state and here in Brick. With the Garden State Parkway expansion, the New Jersey Turnpike Authority Commissioners are harming each and every one of our citizens. Our representatives need to step up, speak out, take legal action against the bureaucracies like the New Jersey Turnpike Authority Commissioners. A 14-foot noise pollution and safety wall is needed to protect us all with large, dense plant life that was destroyed by the NJTA, and this needs to be restored. Every day of inaction will lead many of us to premature deaths, or at least will have us exposed unreasonably to the impact of the deadly toxins both in the air and the overflow waters of the Garden State Parkway. I don't know if I said my address, 950 Sylvia Court. John Sluka, thanks for your time. I yield back 10 seconds.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Brett Paulus, 1608 Patriot Ave, and I want to discuss school security a little bit. Had a couple emails with the mayor over the summer about enhancing the school security. I'm an 18-year police officer in Monmouth County, so I can kind of understand the issues that we're faced with today. In light of the Lanes Mill issue, I know that it was an isolated incident, and I'm privy to some of the facts and circumstances that took place there. But we were talking about hiring Class 3 police officers in the school, and I don't know if there's been any progress made on that yet.
Do we know?
Yeah, so we have a significant presence in the school currently with our officers. That is part of their rotation every day, as part of their districts to get out of the vehicle and walk through the schools. It's part of what they're doing to be present in the moment, and will continue to do so until we work through how the Special Threes would work. We are, willing to go forward with an ordinance that would establish the use of the Special Threes. Our PBA has agreed to do a sidebar agreement. They have no opposition to the idea. We have to continue to work with the school district about how those officers would be paid.
I understand the current measure, but I know patrol guys can't dedicate the time every day. They get calls, they get thrown off. If they're there in the morning and a call comes in, they got to leave. There's openings every single day. I discussed some of the security measures. I don't want to talk about them in public. But when that incident happened, my daughter goes to Lanes Mill. I responded there and I spoke to one of the security guards. He is responsible for all the elementary schools. One guy has to share his time between all the elementary schools, and I don't understand. I know we want to get Class 3s, but how hard is it, and I know it's the Board of Ed, to hire a couple more guys for at least the time being to staff the school every day, because I know our patrol guys can't handle it. It's just not possible in a township like Brick. They're too busy to dedicate the time to, arrival, recess, and everything like that. And I know this was an isolated incident, but I think it's a little bit of a wake-up call, because look at all the towns around us. Every single one of them has police officers in the school full-time. We're the only town that doesn't do it. And
Well, I would imagine their school boards probably have taken that initiative. We're trying to work with ours to see if we can manage it in a way that's affordable for all of us. It's a big lift, and it wasn't something we had budgeted in our 2018 operating budget.
is it possible for next year?
We're continuing to talk with the school. We're willing to do it. The chief would be happy to supervise as required by the police chief to do. As I mentioned earlier, our PBA has absolutely no opposition to it, but we have to continue to work together to find a way to make that happen.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else from public? Yes, sir.
How's everybody?
Good.
Hear me okay? So anybody who doesn't know me, my name is Vince Minichino. I am councilman-elect as of yesterday. I want to introduce myself to everybody who doesn't know me. Bricktown's people, thank you. I appreciate your support. Ladies, council, Kevin, Mayor, Joanne, I'll get back to you. I want to thank everybody for your support. This is a great team. I'm honored and humbled to be a part of this team. You guys have heard me say that. I'm hoping to bring something special to the table. You know, this is a long process. We went through it. It was a challenge. We got through it. We're here today. My goal in the next 4 years is to move and help this team continue to move forward. And that's it. It's just to continue to move forward. They've done a great job. They're very transparent regardless of what you hear anywhere else. I'm part of that. For what I do for a living, transparency and speaking, obviously I have a big mouth. I don't have a problem speaking. I want to make sure we go forward with that. This is a great team. People that are listening at home on TV, show up to the meeting, voice your opinion, support the team. You just put them back in office, support them. Joanne, for whoever doesn't know, I'm a business agent for Teamsters. I represent a host of towns around this area, Ocean, Monmouth, Middlesex, Mercer County. I negotiate contracts wholeheartedly for all these towns, DPWs, bus drivers, custodians. In all of my 30 years of doing this, I have never sat across the table from anybody second to Joanne. She is above and beyond what a town administrator should do and be in a town. She never falters under any pressure. I've been coming to these meetings for almost a year, and there's been times she gets badgered here by public. It's something that I watch over the years I've been doing this. She never falters. She always has the answer. If she doesn't have the answer, she finds the answer. That's my belief. That's my thing. You guys have heard me say it. If I don't have the answer, I will find the answer. Somebody here has the answer. We'll get you the answer. And again, thank you for everybody's support. I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. And again, it's going to be a pleasure working with you, and I'm humbled and honored to be a part of this team. Thank you.
Anyone else from public? Seeing none, close public. Council comments, Mrs. Bergen.
Nothing, thank you.
Mayor?
Yep, thanks. Just want to say congratulations to all the winners, Council President Zapsik and Council Vice President Lisa Crate and Councilman Art Halloran and future Councilman-elect, Vince Minichino. Thank you to the residents of Brick. Really appreciate the support. We've got a lot of good things going here, a lot of different ideas are still coming to fruition, including finally seeing the Food Town site be developed. It's been an ongoing process for so many years, so that's one of the definitely one of the goals over the next few years to finally see that get finished, and then continuing. There's still a couple left of empty storefronts, not many left, but there's still a few. Want to get those full, and keep up with our ordinances that we have as far as maintain the village zone that we have, so we no longer have those big, large complexes of multifamily, and just keep the town moving forward. And an example of stuff that's upcoming, it just shows what a great family town we have. There's something almost for everybody, even though the weather's turning cold. So Veterans Day service right here on Monday, November 11th at 11 o'clock a.m. In front of Town Hall. It's hosted by the American Legion and the VFW. It's our Veterans Day service, so come out and show your support for our veterans. It's a very nice ceremony and service that takes place, and it honors those who gave part of their life and part of their time away from their family in order to keep us all safe here as members of the military. We also have, and as part of that, the town hall is closed on Monday, November 11th for Veterans Day. So garbage, recycling gets backed up a day, and obviously our offices are closed for the day. For seniors out there, our Senior Services is hosting their Thanksgiving Day brunch on Friday, November 15th. That's from 10 a.m. till noon. And for more information, or if you want to make your reservations directly, call Senior Services at 732-920-8686. And then lastly, for young kids from kindergarten all the way through 4th grade, Recreation is hosting a Polar Express movie event. It's $5 cost, and call Recreation to make reservations at 732-262-1044. And in addition to the movie, there's actually little arts and crafts and things like that. It's not just the movie. And there's popcorn and waters. I think they call it melted snow is what they call it, but it's obviously bottles of water. So there we go. We have something for our veterans and something for our whole community to honor our veterans, something for our seniors and something for our young people over the next couple weeks as we all get colder and colder and probably stay indoor more and more. And also our tree lighting is November 26th. It's a Tuesday. And that's right here at Town Hall at 5:30. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Starkey? Madam Clerk?
Nothing, thank you.
Madam Secretary?
Nothing, thank you.
Councilman Fosman?
No comments tonight.
Thank you. Councilwoman Pontoriero?
Thank you. First, I want to thank the Boy Scouts for coming out tonight and leading us in the salute to the flag. And thank you even more the few of you who have stayed for the entire meeting. That's noticed by me, and I think that it's wonderful that you're taking that time to educate yourself about what happens in your local government. Next, I know that Mayor Ducey spoke about the Veterans Day service that we have every year. I want to tell everyone I really hope people come out this year to really honor and support our veterans. I mean, we can get thousands of people to come to our trunk or treat event, but we have a hard time getting a large group of people out there to honor our veterans. These are the people who gave their lives, who sacrificed their mental health, their physical health in a lot of circumstances. And it's one day a year that we have to show our public support and recognition for those men and women. So the 11th at 11 a.m., please come out. It is the most touching and moving ceremony that I believe occurs here. Out of all of the things I go to every year, this is by far, I believe, the most important and very important for my children to see as well. So please come out. Second, we do have a new area for our neighborhood watch, which is going to be starting. It's going to be at the Briar Mills area. So if you're a resident of the Briar Mills area and are interested in being a part of our neighborhood watch, please call and give the information over to our people, 262-1140. Also, our Project Safe Locks, which is the installation of a lock that our police will hold the key to in the event of an emergency, God forbid, and the police need to come into your house to get you and get you help. That program is doing really well. 29 people so far have had the locks installed. There are more locks that are able to be installed. This is a donation, so it's not at any cost to our residents. You can call again 262-1140 to obtain information, and that's called again Project Safe Lock. And then last, thank you to everyone who came out and voted yesterday. No matter who you voted for, it's so important to use the rights that we got from the men and women who served our country, to use those rights is so important. So thank you to everyone, and thank you to the poll workers who sat there all day and did their duty. And then last, I wanted to, on a personal note, just recognize the efforts of a little boy who came into my care when he was 10 weeks old. He was severely abused and neglected. I was told that he probably wouldn't walk and probably wouldn't talk. He needed the help of a developmental therapist, a feeding therapist, occupational therapist throughout the years. And I'm very proud to say that that little boy is my son, who's now 11 and was just inducted into the Junior Honor Society. So I wanted to say congratulations, Antonio. You did a great job. Anyone who's interested in becoming a foster parent, you can call 1-800-NJ-ABUSE and give your information. It's a wonderful thing to do. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes, thank you. I just would like to thank Lynette and her team. They did a great job yesterday for the election, and thank you to everybody who came out and vote, and also the poll workers for making sure that every vote is counted. And I just want to say congratulations to Andrea, Art, Lisa, and welcome to the team, Vince. We are very excited to have you on board, and I know I'm looking forward to a new year with new and different initiatives and finishing up some old projects and continuing to make Brick better. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Mumolo.
Thank you, Madam President. First off, thank the Boy Scouts for 17. Great job leading, very professional looking out there. Great job. Keep up the good work. Congratulations, Andrea, Lisa, Art, and Vince. Welcome to the team. Look forward to working with you for the next couple of years while I'm on here. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Crate.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank everyone who came out to the polls yesterday and voted. I'm genuinely honored and humbled to be able to serve another 4 years, and I look forward to moving forward and continuing to make Brick the best town in all of New Jersey. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I would like to thank the gentleman of Troop 17 for coming out tonight and for staying for the entire meeting. If you have any questions for any of us afterwards, please feel free to come up and see us. This weekend, the mayor talked about some events, but this weekend, the Guild Theater Works, which is our local community theater organization here in Brick, will be performing Jekyll and Hyde at the Cultural Arts Center. That's 515 Herbertsville Road. And that's at 7 p.m. on Friday, 7 p.m. on Saturday, and 2 p.m. on Sunday, and I would encourage everyone to avail themselves of the opportunity to see some live theater right here in Brick Township. And then finally, I would like to thank everyone who came out to vote yesterday, and everyone who felt compelled to cast their vote for me, for Lisa, for Art, and for Vince. I can only speak for myself personally, but I am very grateful and honored to have the opportunity to serve on this council, but primarily to serve the residents of Brick Township for another 4 years, to be able to work with the mayor and Joanne and the police chief, all of our wonderful, wonderful township employees. I truly believe we have the best municipal workforce in the state of New Jersey, who go above and beyond every day to help our residents, and it's a privilege and an honor to be able to work with them, alongside of them, to serve all of you, the residents and the taxpayers of Brick. So thank you for that vote of confidence. And that concludes our meeting tonight. Next meeting will be Monday. It will be Monday, November 18th at 7 p.m. here in this room. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All in favor? Aye.